How did humans evolve? Different skin colors. Imagine meeting the very first humans. Not kings. Not warriors. Not farmers. The earliest members of our species. Homo sapiens. Now here's something that might surprise you. If you could travel back 200,000 years and meet them face to face, they probably wouldn't look like most Europeans, East Asians, or many modern populations today. They would most likely have had dark skin. So how did humans end up with such a wide range of skin colors, from the deepest brown to the palest shades? Was it random? Did climate play a role? And why did evolution change something as visible as skin color in the first place? The answer is a fascinating story involving sunlight, survival, migration, and thousands of generations of human evolution. Let's go back to the beginning. For millions of years, our ancestors lived in Africa. The African sun is powerful. Every day, ultraviolet radiation, known as UV radiation, bombarded the skin of early humans. Too much UV radiation can damage cells and destroy an important nutrient called folate. Folate is critical for healthy pregnancies and proper development. Losing too much folate could reduce reproductive success. So humans faced a problem. How could they protect themselves? Evolution found a solution. Melanin. Melanin is a natural pigment that gives skin, hair, and eyes their color. But melanin isn't just about appearance. It's like a biological sunscreen. The more melanin you have, the more protection your skin gets from harmful UV rays. Over many generations, humans living under intense sunlight evolved darker skin, rich in melanin. This wasn't a fashion choice. It was survival. But this adaptation didn't happen overnight. It took thousands of generations, each generation passing tiny genetic advantages forward, slowly shaping the future of human skin. Dark skin helped protect the body from UV damage while allowing people to thrive in sunny environments. For thousands upon thousands of years, this trait was incredibly successful. But then, something happened that changed everything. Humans began to leave Africa. Around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago, groups of modern humans began migrating out of Africa. Some moved into the Middle East. Others traveled across Europe. Some eventually reached Asia, Australia, and later, the Americas. As humans spread across the planet, they entered environments that looked nothing like Africa. Some regions received much less sunlight. Especially northern Europe, winters were long, clouds were common, the sun often sat low on the horizon, and this created a new evolutionary challenge. Because while UV radiation can be dangerous, humans actually need a certain amount of it. Why? Because sunlight helps our bodies produce vitamin D. Without enough vitamin D, bones become weak and health problems can occur. Suddenly, the same dark skin that protected humans in Africa became less ideal in regions with limited sunlight. People needed a way to absorb more UV radiation. Evolution responded once again. In areas with lower UV levels, individuals with slightly lighter skin had an advantage. Their skin could absorb sunlight more efficiently. This helped them produce enough vitamin D. Even a small difference in sunlight exposure could affect survival over time. Humans with slightly better vitamin D production had healthier bones, stronger bodies, and higher chances of survival in low sunlight regions. These small advantages slowly shaped entire populations. Over thousands of generations, genes associated with lighter skin became more common in some populations. It's important to understand something. This didn't happen overnight. No one woke up one morning with a completely different skin color. Evolution works slowly. Tiny genetic changes accumulate over many generations. The result was the gradual emergence of lighter skin tones in certain regions of the world. Different populations evolved different solutions. Interestingly, Europeans and East Asians developed lighter skin through somewhat different genetic pathways. In other words, evolution arrived at similar outcomes using different genetic tools. That's one of the most fascinating things about nature. Different roads can lead to similar destinations. If skin color evolved because of sunlight, then why aren't there only two colors? Why aren't people simply dark or light? Because human evolution is far more complex than that. Skin color exists on a spectrum. Different regions receive different amounts of sunlight. Migration patterns varied. People mixed with neighboring populations. Cultural practices changed lifestyles. Over thousands of years, all these factors shaped the incredible diversity we see today. That's why populations living near the equator often evolved darker skin, and populations living farther from the equator often evolved lighter skin. But there are many exceptions and variations. Human history is not a straight line. It's a giant web of migrations, adaptations, and genetic exchanges. Modern genetics has allowed scientists to investigate these changes in incredible detail. Researchers have identified multiple genes involved in skin pigmentation. Some genetic variants associated with lighter skin became common in Europe, thousands of years after humans first arrived there. This means skin color continued evolving long after migration. And what's even more fascinating is that skin color evolution didn't stop in ancient times. Some populations continued adapting even in relatively recent history, showing that human evolution is always ongoing, not something locked in the past. Scientists have also discovered that human populations have repeatedly adapted to their environments throughout history. Skin color is just one example. Our species has evolved adaptations related to altitude, diet, disease resistance, and much more. The human body is constantly responding to environmental pressures. Skin color tells a story of adaptation, not superiority, not inferiority, just adaptation. Perhaps the most remarkable part of this story is what it reveals about humanity. Despite our differences, all modern humans belong to the same species. Genetically, humans are extraordinarily similar. In fact, any two people on Earth share more than 99.9% of their DNA. The differences we notice most, such as skin color, represent a tiny fraction of our genetic makeup. Beneath the surface, we are far more alike than different. The story of skin color isn't really a story about separation. It's a story about shared origins. A story that begins in Africa and spreads across the globe. The next time you look at the incredible diversity of humanity, remember, every skin tone tells part of an ancient survival story. A story written by sunlight, migration, and evolution. And no matter where our ancestors traveled, we all share the same remarkable journey. The journey of being human. If you enjoyed this exploration of ancient human history, subscribe for more stories about our ancestors, lost civilizations, and the mysteries of the ancient world. Thanks for watching.